Hey, good morning, family. Just want to show you a brief article about just how embedded racism is in our country. There's an old saying, if nothing changes, nothing changes. So look at this news report and then I'll give you some commentary at the end. This is really, really concerning. Really concerning.
Growing chorus of public officials now calling for State Representative Will Dismukes to step down.
The controversy centers around a post Dismukes made on social media about his attendance at an event celebrating the birthday of Nathan Bedford Forrest.
Forrest was a member of the Confederate Army and later the Grand Dragon of the Ku Klux Klan. Dismukes represents portions of Autauga and Elmore counties, covering Prattville, Millbrook, and Coushatta. WSFA 12 News reporter Jennifer Horton is following this developing story.
State Representative Will Dismukes says he will absolutely not resign amid growing calls to step down. Over the weekend, Dismukes posted on social media that he had a great time speaking and giving the invocation at a celebration for Nathan Bedford Forrest, who was the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. Promptly, officials, both Republican and Democrat, called for Dismukes to leave office. Perhaps the most prominent call from Senator Clyde Chambliss, who said he should resign immediately. Dismukes declined to respond to the calls to leave office, but in an earlier interview on Monday, he blamed national anti-Southern sentiment for the negative response.
Certainly a supporter of my Southern heritage, and I'm not ashamed of my family and our service back in, during the war between the states. So, that's one thing that I won't apologize for, and I will always be proud of my family's past and our family history.
The Southern Poverty Law Center says the annual event, hosted by the Friends of Forrest, has close ties to the neo-Confederate hate group League of the South.
If you don't believe in one thing or you believe in one thing, you're automatically lumped in a category. And for me, it's because I'm not ashamed of, my heritage that all of a sudden now I'm being lumped into this racist category, which is the farthest thing from the truth.
Jennifer Horton, WSFA 12 News.
The Alabama House Democratic Caucus, the Young Republican Federation of Alabama, and the Southern Poverty Law Center are among the groups that are calling for Dismukes to resign. You can read much more about this story and the past involved in it at WSFA.com.
About this. Malcolm X once said that Sunday is the most segregated day of the week. And my question is, how can we worship God in spirit and in truth, and we have so much anger and racism and bigotry in our hearts? The only person a racism is fooling is themselves, because when they stand before God, they're going to have to give an account for their racism. They call it heritage, but we call it racism. Dr. King said we should judge a person by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. And whether this representative knows it or not, my ancestors were enslaved by his ancestors. He's proud of his heritage, but I want to get rid of that heritage, because my heritage for a long time was based upon slavery, enslavement of my people. My question to this congressman is, and he's a pastor at a church also, this is really troubling, because whether he knows it or not, life is short. And where you spend eternity will determine your love for Christ Jesus. And if you love Christ Jesus, you have to love your neighbor. It's impossible to love Christ and hate your brother and sister because of the color of their skin. This right here, my brothers and sisters, is a type of behavior that needs to be exposed and needs to be shamed. Because we as a nation, we cannot grow from this if we continue to tolerate this. Them flying those Confederate flags, to me, is the sign of rebellion. Southern states that tried to leave the Union, and they lost the battle. So they're flying a flag for heritage, and we look at it as a flag of hatred. We liken that Confederate flag to the Jews, how they look at the swastika, the Nazi flag. You don't see statues in Germany of Hitler and his Reich. So why do we tolerate that? Why do we glamorize or we glorify these traitors? They were traitors. And yet we glorify them. And we put names of schools after them, highways after them. And these were traitors. They had one goal, was to leave the Union and start their own nation based upon slavery. Because that was how they that's how their economic system ran, based upon slavery. Again, this type of behavior needs to be exposed and shamed. We as a people cannot move forward if we continue to tolerate this racism, this bigotry. And the only way a person can really change their heart is a true walk with Christ Jesus. Jeremiah wrote in the Bible that the heart is exceedingly wicked. And only Christ Jesus can really change the heart of man. We can't legislate heart change. We can't pay out and spend money on heart change. Only Christ Jesus can truly legislate heart change. Or not legislate, but only can really change the heart of man. I heard a preacher say to me one day, this life is short. And I oftentimes wonder where our ancestors are spending their eternity. Those who left this earth with racism in their heart and prejudice, and those African Americans or Black Americans or Negroes, whatever you want to call us, if they left this earth with unforgiveness, because God is not a respecter of person. And you may ask me, how do you know that God can change the heart of a man? And the only way I can really tell you that God can change the heart of a man is based upon my own personal experience. God took this wicked, hateful heart and made it a heart of love. So I don't look at whites and blacks by the color of their skin. Obviously, you recognize it, But at the end of the day, we all bleed the same. And we all came from the first two people that walked this earth, Adam and Eve. So I truly hope that one day Dr. King's dream will become a reality, where we will truly judge a person by the content of their character as opposed to the color of their skin. Be blessed. God bless.